This is your life, and I'm about to make a very unexpected call on the house of a young Cockney who's made it to the top and lives in a beautiful home here in the heart of the Surrey countryside. What's more, I've discovered that not only has he got a heart of absolute gold for anybody in any sort of trouble, but he just can't resist a practical joke. And I've got a joke for him, let me tell you. I'm going to remind him emphatically of what he said when he was leaving the Falklands last June after entertaining the troops, and what he said in particular to the Royal Irish Rangers. He said, when you get out of here and come home, he says, drop in on me and have a cup of tea. Well, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to drop in and ask for that cup of tea now, and I can't wait to see his face. So just give me time to get out of sight by the house and then come looking for that tea plus music. Now, one of my problems is to just get past the main door here. It's the only danger point that I am aware of, that once I get to the other side of the house, everything should be fine.
Yep. You did say down this way. Over here.
What's my toe? I've got a bad toe, no jumping on it.
Have you got the kettle on?
I don't believe it.
I think we'll slightly postpone that cup of tea and invite them to when you're on the Falklands, because tonight, Cockney comic Jim Davidson, this is your life.
Oh.
That was marvellous, lads.
I can't believe this, can't believe it. Welcome home. You little snort. Oh, great.
Well, you'll have an escort to the theatre, lots of surprises.
Thames Television got a lot to answer for.
Say straight away, Jim, how good it is, and we're all delighted to see that that foot of yours after the accident with the paving stone is getting a little bit better, seemingly, despite
That's
the...
right, yeah. Got out of a work detail, lads. Dropped to
Well, some of the Irish Rangers became personal friends, of course, when you went to the Falklands, a special pal being Sergeant Major Phil Moffat there. Well, Jim, there's somebody else you met on one of your journeys, this time nowhere as near as far as the Falklands, but 4 years ago to our hometown of Leicester. Of course, she was in the house today when you had surprise visitors, your wife, Julie.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, a nice little number. All right. How do you tell me? I don't know.
Well, Julie, in all the rush of we didn't even have a chance to say hello, Julie. Thanks for keeping it so dark and so well from him. Jim Davidson, this is your life, and you were born at 118 Holborn Road, Blackheath, London, on December the 13th, 1953, and christened not James Davidson, but James Cameron Davidson.
That's because your mum and I wanted the youngest member of the Davidson clan to have a real Scots name.
Surprising but true, the famous Cockney comic is the son of a Scottish father, Jock Davidson. Here with your mum, of course, Emily.
All right, man.
And with them, your sister Eileen and your brothers Bill and John. And last but not least, your mother's brother, Uncle George.
Over the seas of far away, the poison go, the sailor.
Well, now, Jim, you're the youngest of 5, and you'll have spotted, I'm sure, even in all this excitement, there's one member of the family missing.
Yeah, my sister.
Yes, she went to live in America 28 years ago, but for you, Jim, we've flown her from Ohio to reunite the whole family, your sister Jean.
I won't believe it. Thanks, mate. You all right? Oh, fine.
Dad, John, or Jock, as all your friends call you, you were a regular soldier and met Emily when you were stationed in the London area.
Yeah, in Woolwich.
In Woolwich, yes. And Jim, although you were born and raised in London, I know you're very proud of your Scottish heritage. And here's the 2-year-old James Cameron Davidson wearing the kilt at your sister Eileen's wedding. And when you and Julie were married on July 23rd, 1981, you were sporting a Scottish rosette. Now today, there's another youngest member of the Davidson clan, and if you look at that screen, Jim, he's going to say hello, or maybe mime hello. And especially for you and his grandpa, he's wearing the Davidson tartan, your 18-month-old son, also christened Cameron. Oh, isn't he lovely? What a good-looking fellow.
Yeah, he's all right, isn't he?
Thank you, Cameron Davidson. Jim, in your recently high-successful situation comedy, Up the Elephant and Round the Castle, you're very much a London lad. And here's the out-of-work Jim signing on for Social Security.
Have you done any work since you were last here?
No. Have you?
Sign it. Anyway, you're late. 10:45 your signing time, Mr. London.
All right, so I lost an oar, didn't I? I was in the boat. Oh, forget it.
Just a moment, please, Mr. London.
Oh, Governor, how's your luck?
You have just signed on the register, have you not?
Yeah, correct for a bonus point. What's up?
Would you walk this way?
If I could walk that way, I would... Oh, sorry. Just a little joke. I must not be late, must not be late.
Not the friendliest of Social Security clerks, but in real life you became good friends. And here they are, Terry Cowling and Nicholas Day. Together with Brian Capron, Anita Dobson, and Sue Nichols.
Oh, you bugger. Oh, you're all here. Can't believe it. Oh, mate. It's only friends there.
And the man you asked to write the theme music for that hit series, formerly with the international pop group Emerson, Lake and Palmer, your great friend Keith Emerson. Okay. Jim, Up the Elephant is your very latest series, but your first really big hit began 8 years ago. What's on next? And yes, Jim, they're on next. Your great pals from that series, Bill Franklin.
Thanks, Bill.
Bob Todd.
Thanks, Bill.
Anna Dawson.
Anna.
Barry Pryor.
Barry.
Pam Ayers.
Ham. Hello, darling.
Linda Lou Allen,
Linda.
and John Judkin.
Hello, John.
The Fugits are open.
Thanks, John.
Let's go back a year or two, Emily. I want to talk to you about Jim as a toddler. He loved to listen to stories, didn't he?
Yes, and his favourite was Daphne Oxenford. And every day he had to listen to that.
That was Listen with Mother.
Yes, Listen with Mother. And one day he was sitting in his potty in the toilet.
I was
Sitting on his potty, I beg your pardon. Be quiet. He was sitting on his potty, and she came on and said, "Are you sitting comfortably?" And he said, "No, Daphne, I was on my potty."
As Mum said, of course, that was indeed one of the most famous lines spoken on radio at the time.
Yeah.
Jim, are you sitting comfortably?
No.
Then I'll begin.
Yes, the owner of the voice that sent you potty while you were on the potty that day nearly 30 years ago, Daphne Oxenford.
That was true, that.
Well, you really were a captive audience then, weren't you?
Yeah, I really was a captive audience.
I hope you sat comfortably.
Well, I hope a lot of children will sit
Thank you,
comfortably.
Daphne Oxenford, and you can sit comfortably over there. Jim, in those days you also did a lot of sleeping, but by the age of 4 it's not rockabye baby but pretend rock music on a toy guitar, and your first ever public performance at a local hospital's Christmas party in 1957. Now, school for jovial Jim is Kidbrooke Park, then St. Austin's Secondary School, Charlton. In and out of school hours, Jim, you spend much of your time playing practical jokes on your pals, so much so they're always looking for a chance to turn the tables on you. And one day, in 1969, they did just that.
But honestly, Jim, we didn't mean that boxer to give you such a terrible licking.
Pal of yours in school days and a member of what was known locally as your Gang of Five, he now lives in Boston, Lincolnshire, Ronnie Lee. Ronnie, how did Jim come to get that terrible licking?
Well, he used to play a lot of pranks on us as kids, so we decided to get our own back on him one night. So we tied him up with string and put him on someone's doorstep and pressed the doorbell and ran off.
And the boxer lived there?
Yeah, but not that sort of boxer. A huge boxer dog jumped out and started licking his face and slobbering all over his face. So I think he was just grateful that's all it done to him.
That's all right. Jim, I said that for you, Ronnie was one of your useful Gang of Five, and to bring you all back together tonight for the first time in 10 years, your other three great pals from those days, Brian Shepherd, Tommy Hayes, and Larry Story.
Not very clumsy there.
How did you do that?
Oh,
Since childhood, Jim, your favourite hobby, shared with Dad, has been fishing. Isn't that your great relaxation, isn't it?
Yeah. Trying to fish.
Well, it was a fishing holiday to the Norfolk Broads when you were 11, which oddly enough led to your first break in show business. And, Jim, it was all because your dad happened to call in to a village pub for a pint, and you happened to be a Boy Scout.
That's right, yeah.
What did you do when he left you?
Well, Dad met some people who, I was outside with my aunt beside her trying to catch some fish. And Dad met someone with half a bottle, so became a friend for life. And, the gentlemen were in the, they were in the Scouts, and I was doing a few impressions. I said, well, I'd like to join the gang show. And I went for an audition at London Palladium with Ralph Reeder, rest his soul, and off I went.
Yes, you do a solo comedy spot in the 1966 gang show at Golders Green Hippodrome. The following year, you auditioned for the part of the artful Dodger in the film Oliver, but this time you're turned down. Yeah. Now, more disappointment is to follow in your private life when you leave school, because you are impetuously married as a mere 17-year-old, but you agree to part within the year. Now, you lose a succession of jobs. Now, I don't know how many jobs you had, but oddly enough, driving to the theatre here from your home this evening, you suddenly pointed out a pub and said...
The Crooked Billet, I painted that. I said to Wayne, I said, it's amazing. I said, here I am on the way to This Is Your Life, and a few years ago I was painting that pub. It's... No, I didn't mean it to sound flash. It's just weird that what can happen if you're lucky.
Well, you eventually managed to earn a few pounds a week playing drums in a local pub. And one night the comedian fails to arrive and you're persuaded to take his place. You get laughs, and bookings at other pubs as a comedian follow. Now slowly you're starting on the ladder to recognition, to stardom.
But since he reached the top, Jim Davidson has given very much more than laughter.
He booked you for a concert spot at his pub on the Old Kent Road when you were a struggling unknown, and you've been great pals ever since. Publican Ken Scott. Ken, more than laughter, you said.
Yes, very much so, Eamon. Jim, you know, has worked the pubs and all that with me over a few years, and my brother died of leukemia some 5 years ago, and Jim automatically laid on a concert at the Dun Cow for us and raised £7,000, and we'd like to say thanks very much.
Well, thank you, Ken Scott. Indeed, it's quite a bit more than that. In fact, Jim Davidson is a founder, vice president of the Elimination of Leukemia Fund, and in 5 years has raised £100,000. Jim, on March 13th, 1976, 2 years after Ken Scott gave you that job at his pub, you appear on New Faces and are voted the winner. In the all-winner show, again you triumph, thanks in large degree to one famous panelist who gives you the maximum possible score, 100 points out of 100.
And Jim, I've given you 100 marks every time I've seen you in action since.
And you've been pals ever since, too, starring in Hello, Dolly at London's Prince of Wales Theatre, of course, Danny LaRue. Danny, I imagine a contestant getting maximum marks was, well, pretty well unprecedented.
It was indeed. One of my colleagues on the panel said, you can't give him 100, nobody's had 100. So I said, I'd give him 150 if I could, I said. And I'll tell you why I said that, because here I was seeing a young, natural talent, a great talent of the people, and getting better and better all the time. Now we've got a great actor, we've got everything, but what we've got mostly is a great fella, a man with a great heart.
Thanks, Dan.
Nice being with you, mate.
Thank you. Danny LaRue. And Jim, let's just take a little look at that performance of yours in the New Faces All Winners show 8 years ago that Danny rated so highly.
He was sitting on a train, Paddy, he was sitting there, going down to London, and there's a bloke sitting there, bowler hat, briefcase, the lot. He said, good morning. He said, how do you do? He said, are you going to London? I am. He said, well, would you like a little guessing game? I don't mind. He said, well, I'll tell you what then, I'll ask you a question. If you can't answer it, you give me £1. Then you ask me a question. If I can't answer that, I'll give you £3. He said, right, I'll have some of that 3 to 1. Lovely, I will. He said, right, I go first. He said, off you go then. He said, right, what's got 14 legs, 26 eyeballs, 15 feet, and wears a wig? He said, I don't know, here's your £3. What is it? He said, I don't know either, here's your quid.
Oh, you're all right, Danny. Bill Davidson, let's talk to you. About that time you left the police force and are now sales manager and exhibition organizer. Did Jim pull your leg when you were a policeman?
He did, Eamon. That's because I was partially responsible for some of his Mickey-taking catchphrases, like the nick-nick, the skinny policeman that's the same width all the way up with a shiny bit on the top of his head and it looks like a biro refill.
Emily, when Jim won New Faces, he had a special message for you, hadn't he?
Yes, he did, Eamon. He said, well, I was at work at the time in the canteen. I had to go to work because his dad has been ill for long and couldn't work. So I went to work, and after he won the New Faces, he rang me up and said, Mum, you'll never work again, and I never have.
Yeah.
Thanks to that win, offers of work in television and theatre come pouring in. What's on next with Bill Franklin and your pals here? London Night Out. In 1979, the Jim Davidson Show, the Royal Variety Show at Drury Lane. And the following year, you fulfill your lifelong ambition to top the bill at the famous London Palladium. Now, the pals you shared the Palladium stage with are right now in Panto's Far and Wide. So we're going to Bristol Hippodrome to hear first from Lionel Blair.
Hi, boys and girls. Hi, Jim. This year I'm in Bristol with two of your other mates. Remember Slack Alice? Well, this year she's my Cinderella, Jackie Redding.
Hello, Jim. Well, I knew your past would catch up with you eventually.
I remember King Rat. Well, he's changed his sex this year. This year he's one of the Acme sisters, Victor Spinetti.
God, dear.
I'm very, very sorry I can't be with you tonight. But I have a word of advice for you. Next time we lift up a paving stone, call the council.
Now, we know you don't like a drink, Jim, but tonight we'd like to raise our glasses to you. Have a marvellous night. Yes, to you, Jim. God bless you.
I want you to keep looking at that screen, Jim, because we're hopping across the Bristol Channel up the coast to Swansea's Grand Theatre there to hear from more mates of yours, Melvin Hayes and Windsor Davis.
Hello, Eamon.
Hello, Eamon.
We're glad you were doing this expose about the man who calls himself Jim Davidson.
Alias Knack Knack.
Yeah. I mean, when we first met him, we was just two fun-loving kids, you know, innocent.
Yeah, full of ambition and everything to live for.
But he wanted to take us into his world, he said.
Yes, show us the glamour and razzmatazz of showbiz.
But he made villains of us.
Yeah.
We're playing robbers, Jim.
At the Swansea Grand.
Swansea Grand, yeah. All right. Good luck, mate.
Thank you, Windsor Davis and Melvin Hayes in Swansea and Jacqueline Redden, Victor Spinetti and Lionel Blair in Bristol. Jim, it was a few months after that Palladium Panto that you and Julie were married at Poole, Dorset, where Jim was appearing in a summer show. But Julie, had it been possible, Jim would have married you 4 months earlier and in a very different kind of ceremony, right?
Yes, that's right.
What are you trying to imply?
We were going on holiday to Barbados, and Jim proposed to me on the plane. I accepted, and he asked the captain of the plane to marry us, like captains of ships used to do.
Well, the captain was delighted with your news.
But although I couldn't marry you there and then, I was happy to toast your future.
And he's here to toast you again tonight, Captain Dennis Thomas.
Oh, nice of you to come, man. Nice of you to come. We did it in the end. Thank you.
Jim, your son Cameron is normally tucked up at this time, but by arrangement with Julie, two of your closest friends and near neighbours have brought him here. Celebrated singer Iris Williams and her husband Clive, with, of course, your 18-month-old son, Cameron. Jim, when you were a boy, you used to go to the pictures. You were a great fan of a particular international film star. So not surprisingly, when he comes to London in the play The Sleeping Prince, you go along to see it. You're introduced to him and you go out to dinner together.
And Jim, that was when it was my turn to become a fan of yours.
And what's more, he's here, international star of such films as Lawrence of Arabia and Dr. Zhivago, Omar Sharif. Tell us now, what's converted you to the Jim Davidson fan club?
Well, we had dinner together. He'd come to see the play, and then he had me in stitches over dinner. And I decided to see his television show. And I became a Jim Davidson addict. And I had to come tonight to tell him that I think he's a great comedian.
Thank you.
Thank you, Omar Sharif.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Jim, we've heard that no matter how hard you work, you always find time for your hobby, fishing, and your desire to help others less fortunate than yourself. Now, one day, in summer 1980, you got joking with a total stranger fishing near you. You became pals and later learned that, sadly, he had a daughter disabled by spina bifida and couldn't afford to build the ground floor bedroom and bathroom she desperately needed. So in May 1982, you organised a special show for that little girl and raised £6,000, which is why we're going now to Faversham in Kent to hear from her dad and mum, your fishing pal Derek Waters and his wife Margaret.
Hello, Jim. Well, what can we say? Even now that it's built, we can't believe it. The show you put on raised the money we needed to have this special ground floor bedroom and bathroom built for Michelle.
Hello, Jim. Without you, this wouldn't have been possible. You know how grateful Derek and I are, but of course, there's no one more grateful than Michelle herself.
Jim, thanks to you, this is my special place, and you have made me feel that I'm a special person. I'll never forget how important you made me feel on the night of the show. I told you that you made me feel like a princess, and Jim, I blushed when you said I was a princess. Love you, Jim, very much.
Jim? Jim, the little girl that you made feel like a princess is here to deliver that kiss in person. 11-year-old Michelle Waters. Jim Davidson, this is your life. All right, thank you, Alan.